I'm telling you, we're going to win the Champions League! We're going to win! I'm telling you!
Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Obviously, a lot of excitement after last night's Champions League games. Villa with a dramatic win, the Madrid derby. But Arsenal making so many pieces of history last night. Nwaneri with the goal, 5, 6, 7 goals away from home. There was multiple records within that. The doubling down from the media today. Some of the Chelsea reactions ahead of their game has been crazy. We're going to be looking at some of the best content since, before and during the game. So hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing. And a big shout out, by the way, to our title sponsors today, Stocks FC. So scan the QR code now to go and claim your free stocks. I want to start, though, with Jason Cundy. And he's doubling. Just take a listen to this.
I'll tell you why. Because I was right.
Well, on what basis were you right? If he's playing for Scunthorpe or Peterborough now, I'd be like, yeah.
No.
Right.
So you've misunderstood what I said. You tell me what I said that's wrong.
All right, I'll give you word for word, mate.
Well,
you said, I think it's a really poor decision because it's about Arteta.
Yep.
It's all about Arteta, the manager that played the youngest player ever.
Yep.
It's self-indulgent.
What's wrong? So you tell me now what's wrong with that quote.
Well, if the geezer had put the kid on and the kid had never played a game for us again, then I'd be like, do you know what? It's a token gesture. You're right, mate.
No. See, you've missed.
See, the thing is here, what Jason Cundy's doing, he's doubling down that I was right when I said Mikel Arteta was self-indulgent. And you'll hear him and a few others say, well, he didn't play regularly after his debut. Well, they tested what the young man was like within the squad. They gave it to him as a bit of an acid test, really, a little bit of experience, also to show the young man that, look, we see a massive future for you. Stick with us. It wasn't self-indulgent, and the proof is now in the pudding. But what you're seeing from the mainstream media, instead of, do you know what? We got that wrong. Ethan Nwaneri is a brilliant talent. Ethan Nwaneri is level-headed. He works hard. Arteta knew exactly what he was doing. They're doubling down. No, we were right in that moment. It was self-indulgent. Just because he's playing now and breaking Champions League records doesn't mean we're wrong to slag off his debut when he was 15 years of age. And what we shouldn't also forget are the types of things that Jason Cundy also agreed with from Danny Murphy at the time, because this is really key. Take a listen.
Yeah, I do. You've got to be really careful with the pathway you give. You know, what are your reasons for bringing the young players into the squad and the team? Normally it's to give them a taste of what's to come, because you see their talent, you think he's going to be part of this sooner rather than later.
This is what they were saying. So and this is why they're doubling down is now exposed. They made it out that Nwaneri was never going to be part of the future of Arsenal. It was a token gesture that was purely done for a record for Mikel Arteta. This has been now been debunked. But let us also not forget what Danny Murphy said, because the video on TalkSPORT's now gone, funnily enough, and Jason Cundy backed it. They also said they're worried. What type of family and friends does Ethan Nwaneri have around him? Will he be able to keep his feet on the ground? Are they protecting the player? They made all these accusations that for one reason or another, young Ethan and his family wouldn't be able to stay level-headed. They'd get carried away. They'd get drunk on the fame because of this debut appearance at 15. All of that has been debunked. And when I see a young player, a young Englishman, a young man like Ethan Nwaneri deliver the way he is right now at the age of 17, it makes me look back at these comments. And the fact that they double down on them even now, well, we were right then. No, you were wrong. You were bitter, you were angry, and you took it out on a 15-year-old child. Shame on you, and well done to Ethan Nwaneri for what was, again, another brilliant performance. Before we go any further, a big shout out to Stocks FC. I love this fantasy football game. It's the best. One, you literally get to put stocks in a player that you rate. Okay, and we all say that, we all tweet it, we all talk about it, but you can actually do it here. But it is a really fun game to play as well. So scan that QR code there, claim your free stocks to start building your portfolio. You've got free IPOs out this week. Oh, Jacob Murphy, that's not a bad one, That is not a bad IPO that is currently out. But you could start building your portfolio now. You can buy the stock in the players that you rate, and then with the player, and you can see here, look at the player awards here. Look how many, look at 24,000. I didn't mean to move that, but $24,000 in player awards for Erling Haaland, as an example. 40-odd thousand Bruno Fernandes. And in fact, you could look at the biggest on here. Mo Salah, 64,000. Pedro Porro's is massive, by the way. Absolutely massive. I love this game. I play it each and every single week. It's the best fantasy football around. But you can get your free account now, and you can sign up and get your free stock by scanning that QR code on the screen. Get it done right now. Get yourself playing. You can earn a little bit. You're never going to be rich playing it. It's not the point. But instead of just playing normal fantasy football where what's the reward? A pat on the back. Here, if your football knowledge is good, if you buy the right stocks, you can make yourself a little bit of spare change as well. Now, moving forward, let's take a look here at some of the reactions from Arsenal fans last night. We're going to go across and over to AFTV. Let's take a look.
But albeit they are in the Champions League for a reason, and can they beat teams? Listen, they gave Juventus a run for their money.
Well, they knocked out Juventus.
Yeah.
They beat Liverpool. They drew with PSG. They're no mugs. You know what I mean?
So any team that beats Liverpool and Juventus, you know, another big European team, listen, you've got to take them seriously, and there's got to be credit. And we dismantled them. Yeah. That wasn't even like a close game. They got absolutely dismantled, like fully. Like that is probably one of the best performances I've seen by this current Arsenal team in years.
It certainly is. And I said it last night, by any metric, whether you're Standards FC and Arteta are out, whether you're Arteta in completely, whether you might even be Arteta marry me, depends. No matter how much you hate Arsenal or love Arsenal, by every metric possible, it was sensational. Biggest away win in Champions League knockout football history. PSV have not conceded 5, 6 or 7 goals at home ever in European football in their 70-year history. Arsenal, the fastest team ever in away games to score, away Champions League football history, to score 5, 6 and 7 goals. It's Arsenal's biggest ever winning margin in an away European game, away knockout game in the Champions League. And they did that. But the youngest combination ever to score and assist a goal, the youngest ever goal scorer in the knockout stages of a Champions League game. And that was all done with their 4 main attackers out. On every metric, no matter how much you hate Arsenal, you've just got to hold your hands up and say that was phenomenal. Up next here, let's take a little listen to Cecil and Julian.
Then you're basically saying, well, if we play Atletico Madrid, we probably lose. They sit back and defend well. But if we play against Real Madrid, who will come out and attack us, we'll beat Real Madrid.
And that's exactly what it's really good that you followed exactly what I said and you understood the logic, and that's exactly where I was going to go. It's exactly where I was going to go.
So you think we can beat Real Madrid comfortably?
No, I didn't say. Now the difference is, don't put words into my mouth.
I'm not putting no words into you. You just said it's exactly the path it's gone. That's exactly what I wanted. So yes, so that is what you're saying.
It is exactly the path because of the style. I would say that we've got more chance of beating Real Madrid.
I have to stop him here. I think in many other years gone by, this would hold water. I've watched Atleti play maybe 8 or 9 times this season for like full matches. I've watched bit parts and everything else. They're far more attacking this year. They're having more of the ball. They dominated large periods of possession and were very attacking at the Santiago Bernabeu last night. I don't think they're going to play Arsenal and go, we've got to sit back here. We've got to sit back and absorb. I think they'll see Arsenal and think, we can beat them. We can go at them and beat them. And I mean that with all respect to Arsenal. Atleti are a brilliant team. They're a phenomenal team at the moment. Both are going to attack Arsenal. I just think you want the one with the least potent attack. And I think in Champions League football, the least potent attack is Atleti. But either way, they're through. They're playing one of them. They're getting through 100%. Even the football gods can't undo this. They're both tremendously hard games. I think there is... I think from an Arsenal perspective, Atleti are the slightly easier, and I'm talking about the perspective of playing Real Madrid, than Real Madrid. But I don't think there is a dream draw from that for Arsenal. It's going to be an incredibly difficult game that if they get through, Arsenal will have exceeded anybody and everybody's expectations for the season, as far as I can see. A Champions League season, as far as I can see. Let's take a look here at what Mark Goldbridge has had to say. If you haven't done it yet, please get the like button smashed for us, please. Let's take a little listen to what he has to say. Am I on the right video, though? I'm clicking on the wrong video. Let's play.
Goal, 4-1. It's game over. Odegaard with a simple goal. It's crap defending by PSV. And Arsenal are in the box seat. And I tell you what, I don't think they would have thought it was going to be this easy. Absolute demolition job here. And it's Demolition Man Odegaard. Sign him up with Stallone. It's all over.
Great film, that. You ever watched that? Wesley Snipes, Stallone, Demolition Man. Amazing film.
I mean,
probably a little dated now, but that was a proper 90s action movie.
PSV, I reckon United had beat PSV. 5!
I wouldn't go that far, Mark. I wouldn't go that far.
1! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 5 for Arsenal.
Do you know what? They didn't defend great, PSV. There's no doubt. And I get his point. He was joking and flippant that the United could beat them. Mo called this out on the Top 6 show last night, so I want to give him his prop for this. Arsenal just attacked, pushed their fullbacks forward, great movement from the front three, front four, and they ripped them apart. They took risks by leaving themselves a little bit exposed at times, which is why PSV created openings and opportunities. But this Arsenal team just hasn't been around this much this season. So all things being said, Arteta and Arsenal need praise for that. And I think they've just got to play that way in the right moments of the games for the remainder of this tournament. Martinelli and Saka coming back, it gives them half a chance. You may disagree. You may think they've got zero chance of winning the Champions League. I don't necessarily ever agree with that notion. I've seen worse teams than this Arsenal side go on to win it. But the reason PSV looked bad defensively last night, a big part of that was the way Arsenal attacked. And I don't think PSV was sort of ready for it, if that makes sense. Up next, let's take a look here at Chelsea fans. This is when the 7th goal went in. Let's take a little look and a listen here. Are we going to get sound? Probably because I'm pressing the wrong video. Press play on the wrong video.
7-1. 7-1. Calafury.
Oh, 7-1.
This is the hate along.
Yeah. These men are going to rotate.
Watch them struggle to score a goal against United now.
Yeah.
Yo, we need to wipe out Copenhagen in the first leg.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Matt, when would you say was the best?
These men now, they're going to play their whole second team in the second leg now. And they'll just rest up for us on Sunday. Well, we got to be able to do the same thing.
Do you know what I like about this? What you get, why I love watching the hate-alongs, is you, in the moment, you get almost like the rawest truth in this particular... When people are watching their own teams and they're angry, I think you get an exaggerated truth of frustration or euphoria. When you're watching a rival, I think your deepest, darkest fear rises to the surface. I was watching Arsenal last night, and people super chatted this during the full fan highlight show, which I just wanted to ignore. I am now concerned if they bring that intensity, that speed, that quickness, that clinical edge to Old Trafford at the weekend, they could put 4 or 5 past us, which will be immensely embarrassing. I'm scared of that. Watching Lewis here and the other Chelsea fans on this hate along last night, you could see their Arsenal fear for this particular game rise. It's like, hang on. Please don't let them click. Please don't let us have to play a really tough, difficult Conference League game on a Thursday and then have to play a fresh Arsenal team on a Sunday. They're worried about it. And I get why Chelsea are holding... Now, they'll back away from this, Chelsea fans, and I get why, because there is bravado and ego that will come through, and there'll be this notion of... No, we're not scared. We're not scared. But in that moment there, listen, I've got a lot of respect for Lewis. I love the guy to bits. But you could see that, shit. Oh, no. You could see that fear, that fear of what Arsenal could do to them in a couple of weeks' time. And do you know why I can see it? Because I feel the same thing about this coming Sunday. Let's take a look here at some of the tweets that also went out yesterday that I think are worth looking at. I saw this, right? And this is Football Gods 101. City fan says, just no way this team is making it past this round. I'm sorry. And what I loved about that, you look at the replies. Go find this tweet and look at the replies. Arsenal were going out. Arsenal were getting beat. Ret-a-tear. Literally for an hour or two later, the same people to say, oh, it's only PSV though. I love football fandom. It's amazing. This is an Arsenal fan who actually tweeted saying PSV are rubbish, man. This is a bad look for the new Champions League format. This is what I mean by people. I think some people should stop watching football for a while. Go get a girlfriend, consensually touch a boobie, touch some grass, take up fishing, do something that makes you happy. Imagine watching your team complete one of the greatest pieces of history in Champions League knockout history, and your reaction is to slag off the format, slag off the team that you're beating, and it means nothing. It tells me you're a little bit... The Oscar here is a little bit dead inside. I feel for Oscar. I'll tell you who I don't fear for, though. This man who upsets the football gods every single week. United Trey here tweeted, pulling up to a Champions League knockout game with Miko Merino as your striker. No wonder Arsenal won. No wonder Arsenal won the game. Whatever United Trade says, bet on the opposite. Bet on the opposite, because it always happens. If he says this striker's going to kill it in the league, he's going to be a bust. If he said this player is dead, they'd go on to be brilliant. He is the biggest jinx in football fandom history. There's no doubt about it. As ever, people, I want your thoughts, feelings, opinions on what we've shared today. The Chelsea and Man United fear of going up against Arsenal this week. The media doubling down, lying about their Ethan Nwaneri takes after they've been exposed again. What's the next best option for Arsenal as well? Do you think they're better off playing Real Madrid or Atleti? Which of those two do you think would be the best for them at this particular moment? As ever, a big shout out to Stocks FC. Go and check out that platform now. Honestly, you'll love it. Claim your free stocks, have a play for free, see if it's something you enjoy. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless. Peace.